Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama-shloke Bhaktir-bhavati Naistike Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 17, Mahārāja Pṛthu becomes angry at the earth. So we are in the section, text 22 to 27, where Pṛthu Mahārāja is giving counter argument to the earth and describing how he has to take a very strict action. So we are at text 27. Tvam stvagdvam durmadam nitva mayagam tilashasharaihi atmayoga baleneva dharishyamyaham praja. Translation.
You are very much puffed up with pride and have become almost insane. Presently, you have assumed the form of a cow by your mystic powers. Nonetheless, I shall cut you into small pieces like grain, and I will uphold the entire population by my personal mystic powers. Purport. The earth informed King Pṛthu that if he destroyed her, he and his subjects would all fall down into the waters of the Garbha ocean. King Pṛthu now replies to that point. Although the earth assumed the shape of a cow by her mystic powers in order to be saved from being killed by the king was aware of this fact and would not hesitate to cut her to pieces just like small bits of grain. As far as the destruction of the citizens is concerned, Maharaj Pṛthu maintained that he could uphold everyone by his own mystic powers. He did not need the help of the earthly planet. Being the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, Pṛthu Maharaj possessed the power of Sankarshana, which is explained by the scientists as the power of gravitation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is holding millions of planets in space without any support. Similarly, Pṛthu Maharaj would not have had any difficulty supporting all his citizens and himself in space without the help of the planet Earth. The Lord is known as Yogeshwara, master of all mystic powers. Consequently, the planet Earth was informed by the king that she need not worry about his standing without her help. Hare Krishna.
So here, Pṛthu Maharaj describes that you said, how will I uphold without you? And then Pṛthu Maharaj says here, you have become puffed up with pride, stabdham, almost insane, durmadam. You have assumed the form of a cow by your mystic power, Bahurupini, and you are thinking that if I destroy earth where my citizens will stand, Atma Yoga Balena, that I will uphold the entire population by my personal mystic powers. Okay, this is the reply of Mahārāja Pṛthu. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, earth is informing King Pṛthu that if he destroyed her, then where they will stand? Everybody will fall in the Garbhodaka ocean. And Pṛthu Maharaj says, no. Being incarnation of the Supreme, although he is Jiva Tattva, although he is a Shaktiavesh avatar, he is imbued with all the potency, and including the potency, the power of Sankarshana. So power of Sankarshana is called as law of gravity, power of gravitation. In fact, Karshana means Karshati Akarshati, is to attract. And law of gravitation is nothing but power of Sankarshana. Dharayami aham ojasa. Like modern science, they are utterly confused about where the universe is, what is holding the universe. It is, they say that mass m1 and mass m2, they are attracting each other. I mean, the mass is transferring itself into gravity and they are holding each other. They are holding each other, but where they are holding? What is holding the everything? What is holding everything is Lord Sankarshana, the power of, the power of gravitation. And by this power of gravitation, millions of objects are floating in the space. Right? They are not holding each other. See, it is very simplistic to understand that two objects, we have done the equations also, right? M1, M2, R square, and all those things. That the M1 object, mass 1, is projecting gravity on the mass 2, and this law of attraction, and they are good. But you can have 10 balls, each attracting one another. Eventually, everything will collapse on the earth, right? But here, the entire universe is maintained by the law of gravitation, and that law of gravitation is power of Sankarshan coming through Lord Yogeshwara. And this is how planet Earth was informed by the king that she need not worry about it standing without her help. Right. So here, especially Maharaj Pṛthu is answering that you do not worry about where others will stand. Now we come to the next section. This is the last section of this chapter. Text 28 to 36. Earth is offering prayers to Maharaj Pṛthu. Text 28. एवं मन्युमयीं मूर्तिं कृतान्तम् इव बिभ्रतं प्रणता प्राञ्जलिः प्राह मयि सञ्जातवेपुतः. Translation.
Translation. At this time, Pṛthu Maharaj became exactly like Yamraja, and his whole body appeared very angry. In other words, he was anger personified. After hearing him, the planet Earth began to tremble. She surrendered and with folded hands began to speak as follows. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is death personified to miscreants and the Supreme Beloved Lord to the devotees. In Bhagavad Gita 10.34, the Lord says, Mrityu sarva haras chaham. I am all devouring death. Faithless unbelievers who challenge the appearance of God will be delivered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead when he appears before them as death. Hiranyakashipu, for example, challenged the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the Lord met him in the form of Narasimhadeva and killed him. Similarly, the planet Earth saw Maharaj Pṛthu as death personified, and she also saw him in the mood of anger personified. Therefore, she began to tremble. One cannot challenge the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in any circumstance. It is better to surrender unto him and take his protection at all times. Hare Krishna.
So now, at that time, Maharaj Pṛthu became exactly like Yamaraj. Kritantamiva. Kritanta means Sakshat Kal. Yamaraj. And his whole body was becoming extremely angry. Atyadik, Manyumayim Murtim. Manyumayim Murti means extreme anger. He was anger personified. Looking at this form of Maharaj Pṛthu, saying that I will cut you to the pieces, I will hold the universe, I will hold myself, all my citizens in the space. Planet Earth, Pranata Pranjalim Praha, Mahi Sanjata Veputha. So Pranadam, she became Sharanagat. Pranjalim, she folded her hands. And Mahi is Prithvi, right? Sometimes people have the name Mahi. So Mahi means Prithvi. So Prithvi, she, Sanjat, Veputah, she began to tremble and she began to speak. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that the Supreme Lord is a death personified and fear personified. Mrityu Sarvaharascha. That to the Hiranyakashipu, he came as the death personified and destroyed Hiranyakashipu. But the same Supreme Lord for Prahlad, it is Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlad Allhadadaine. So simultaneously, the Lord is death personified for the miscreants and Supreme Beloved Lord to his devotees. Right. So here in this case, planet Earth, when she saw Pṛthu Maharaj as death personified, she also saw him in the mood of anger personified, and she began to tremble. Prabhupada says, better not to challenge the authority of the Supreme Lord, and better to follow, surrender unto him, and take his protection at all times. And this is not only for the Supreme Lord. Sometimes, what I've realized is we have some wonderful devotees, senior devotees, and better to be always in a, in a Sharanagat mode, and, just reap the benefits of the blessings than to unnecessarily counter people, have some different thought process, the Bhinnadrik, having a different vision, and just creating, a very confrontatory situation. I don't know, always confrontation. So it's a great art actually. Vaishnava relationship, any relationship is a great art. We have to, instead of confronting the boss, we have to be in sync with the boss. Of course, needless to say that, all has to be, without compromising on any principles. That is needless to say. But in Vaishnava behavior, one should happily do it because there is no question of compromise of the behavior. There is a mood change here and there. Better, to take the shelter and advance very nicely instead of confronting. Text 29. Now we see Dharo Vacha, that earth personified began to speak. Text 29. Dharo Vacha Nama Parasmai Purushaya Mayaya Vinyastyanana Tanave Gunatmave Namaswarupanubhavena Nirduta Dravyakriyākāraka Vibhraurmaye. Translation.
The planet Earth spoke. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are transcendental in your position, and by your material energy, you have expanded yourself in various forms and species of life through the interaction of the three modes of material nature. Unlike some other masters, you always remain in your transcendental position and are not affected by the material creation, which is subject to different material interactions. Consequently, you are not bewildered by material activities. Purport. After King Pṛthu gave his royal command, the planet Earth, in the shape of a cow, could understand that the king was a directly empowered incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, the king knew everything, past, present, and future. Thus, there was no possibility of the earth cheating him. The earth was accused of hiding the seeds of all herbs and grains, and therefore she is pretending to explain how seeds of these herbs and grains can be again exposed. The earth knew that the king was very angry with her, and she realized that unless she pacified his anger, there was no possibility of placing a positive program before him. Therefore, in the beginning of her speech, she very humbly presents herself as a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's body. She submits that the various bodily forms manifest in the physical world are but different parts and parcels of the supreme gigantic body. This is said that it is said that the lower planetary systems are the parts and parcels of the legs of the Lord, whereas the supreme planetary systems are parts and parcels of the Lord's head. The Lord creates this material world by his external energy, but this external energy is in one sense non-different from him. Yet, at the same time, the Lord is not directly manifest in the external energy, but is always situated in the spiritual energy. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.10,
Yeah, it's a long
Madhya,
purport, so we will read in sections.
Hare
Dharo Vacha, planet Earth spoke. Namah Parasmai Purushaya Mayaya. That, my dear Lord, O Supreme Lord, all obeisances unto you. You are transcendental in your position. By your material energy, you have expanded yourself, but you are unaffected by three modes of material nature. Unlike the other masters, you maintain your transcendental position without getting affected by the material activities. So, very intelligently, Dharani Mata Dharovacha, she is praying that, my dear Lord, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that after King Pṛthu gave the royal command, planet Earth could understand the king is actually directly empowered incarnation of the Supreme. And thus he knows past, present, and future. Right. And there was no possibility that Earth could hide all the seeds and the other forms within herself and cheat Maharaj Pṛthu. And therefore, she surrendered unto Maharaj Pṛthu, and she was preparing to explain the process how to obtain the seeds of these herbs and grains, how they can be further exposed. She began to, so Maharaj Pṛthu was extremely angry. She wanted to pacify the anger and therefore submitted that, my dear Lord, I am your part and parcel. Right. So, I mean, just like, sometimes Bhagavatam gives example, when we are eating and our tongue is bitten by our teeth, we don't become angry at the teeth and begin to break the teeth. In the दांत ने मुझे मेरे जिह्वा को काट दिया, I'll break the teeth. No, the tongue is also your, teeth is also yours. So now this is the mood. What Dharani Mata is saying, that my dear Lord, I am also your part and parcel. Right. And further, Srila Prabhupada explains that how there are various bodily forms which manifest in the material world. And although this manifestation is there, that the Lord is explained as Virat Rupa, how the upper planetary systems are the parts and parcels of the Lord's head, and the middle and the lower planetary system, still the Lord exists differently, simultaneously within and without the universe. Yeah, please continue.
As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.10, Mayadhyakshana Prakriti, material nature is working under the direction of Lord. Therefore, the Lord is not unattached to the external energy, and he is addressed in this verse as Guna Atma, the source of the three modes of material nature. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 13.15, Nirgunanam Guna Bhokta Cha. Although the Lord is not attached to the external energy, he is nonetheless the master of it. The philosophy of Lord Chaitanya, upholding that the Lord is simultaneously one with the different from his creation, Achintya Bheda Tattva, is very easily understandable in this connection. The planet Earth explains that although the Lord is attached to the external energy, he is nirdhuta. He is completely free from the activities of the external energy. The Lord is always situated in his internal energy. Therefore, in this verse, it is stated, Sorupa Anubhavena. The Lord remains completely in his internal potency and yet has full knowledge of the external energy as well as the internal energy. Just as his devotee remains always in the transcendental position, keeping himself in the service of the Lord without becoming attached to the material body. Srila Rupa Goswami says that the devotee who is always engaged in the devotional service of the Lord is always liberated, regardless of his material situation. If it is possible for a devotee to remain transcendental, it is certainly possible for the Supreme Personality of Godhead to remain in his internal potency without being attached to the external potency. There should be no difficulty in understanding this situation. Just as a devotee is never bewildered by his material body, the Lord is never bewildered by the external energy of this material world. A devotee is not hampered by the material body, although he is situated in a physical body that runs according to so many conditions.
So here. So this thing. Further now, Srila Prabhupada explains that the Supreme Lord is the master of the material elements. Mayadhyakshena Prakriti. Suyate Sacharacharam. The entire material nature is working under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Adhyakshena. Right. So, and therefore, Lord is not unattached to the material external energy. And therefore, he is addressed here as Gunatma, the source of three modes of material nature. So the Lord is both Gunatma and Nirguna. This is the beauty of the Lord. Gunatma and Nirguna simultaneously, right? And therefore it is said all the contradictions are resolved within the personality of Godhead, Gunatma and Nirguna. This is the name of the Lord, Gunatma. He is also Nirguna. And this is how Prabhupada says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's perfect philosophy of Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. Lord is Gunatma, Lord is Nirguna. Simultaneously one and difference. And this is how Prabhupada says one can very easily understand that this is the one and different nature of the Supreme Lord. The Lord is attached to the material energy, but still he is Nirduta, being uncontaminated by the material energy. And this is also called as Swarupa Anubhavena. The Lord remains completely in his internal potency and does not become and still controls the external potency. Somebody may say, how it is possible that, and this is possible. This is possible, forget the Lord, even for the devotee of the Lord. Like, the very celebrated verse Rupa Goswami writes in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Iha yasya hare erdasya karmana manasa gira nikhilashvapi avasthasu jivan muktah sa uchyate. A person who is engaged in acting in Krishna consciousness with his body, mind and intelligence and words is a liberated person even within this material world. Although he may be engaged in so-called material activities. And this is the basis of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna is saying, my dear Lord, if I act, I will be, implicated. Better I don't act. And Lord Krishna says, no, better you act and liberate yourself by following the process of action in Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada says, if this is possible for the devotee of the Supreme Lord, why it is not possible for the Supreme Lord himself? That he is part of the material world, but completely unaffected by the material world. Yeah, please continue.
A devotee is not hampered by the material body, although he is situated in a physical body that runs according to so many material conditions. For example, there are 5 kinds of air functioning within the body, and there are so many organs, the hands, legs, tongues, genitals, rectum, etc., all working differently. The spiritual soul, the spirit soul, the living entity, who is in full knowledge of his position, is always engaged in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and is not concerned with the bodily function. Although the Lord is connected with the material world, he is always situated in his spiritual energy and is always unattached to the functions of the material world. As far as the material body is concerned, there are 6 waves or symptomatic material conditions: hunger, thirst, lamentation, bewilderment, old age, and death. The liberated soul is never concerned with these 6 physical interactions. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, being the all-powerful master of all energies, has some connection with the external energy, but he is always free from the interactions of the external energy in the material world.
Yeah. So further, Srila Prabhupada explains now how this is possible for, the Jivan Mukta Hasa Uchyate. That in the body of a devotee, the body of the devotee is as material as any other body. There is this Pancha Prana, Panchavayu, which is situated within. There are different organs. Prabhupada writes the list of the organs. There are hands, legs, tongues, so on and so forth. All working simultaneously and differently. However, the spirit soul, the soul proper, is engaged in the transcendental living service and especially chanting the holy names Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Our Kenjale Prabhu, Santosh Kenjale Prabhu, is admitted, and we request devotees to pray for him. Last time he was telling me his realization. He was saying that Prabhuji, it appears that a lot of people are operating on the body, but I am different than the body, and I can be, the soul can be engaged in the activities of Krishna consciousness. Right. So body means there will be different waves within the body, especially in the 6 whips they are called as. These are the 6 waves which are there in the body. That there will be wave of hunger, there will be thirst, there will be lamentation. Suddenly, you just hear something and there is great lamentation. There is, the bewilderment, there is old age, there is death. And all these, But a devotee of the Lord will never be, although he will go through these tribulations, but will never be uh, taken over by these tribulations. Right? This is very important for a devotee. Such a personality. So, Jivan Mukta doesn't mean that he doesn't have the bodily problems. Pure devotee doesn't mean that he doesn't have the leg pain and the headache. So he is also situated within the body. The body is made up of this Panchavayu. Body is made up of so many organs working nicely. Sometimes something is not working, sometimes. So they are also going to the material tribulations. But because they are engaged in the activities of the Supreme Lord, the spiritual activities, these 6 waves will not affect the condition of his mental condition of such a living entity. And therefore, such a personality is called as Nikhilashvapi avasthasu Jivan Muktah sa uchyate. He is called as liberated, although he is still situated in the material body. And this is the condition of a Jivan Mukta devotee. So, very beautiful purport. Srila Prabhupada writes here. Text 30. येनाहमात्मा तद्यतनं विनिर्मिता धात्रा यतोऽहं गुणसर्गसङ्ग्रहम् स एव मां हन्तुमुदायुधस्वरान् उपस्थितान्यं शरणं कमाश्रये. Translation.
The planet Earth continued, My dear Lord, you are the complete conductor of the material creation. You have created this cosmic manifestation and the 3 material qualities, and therefore you have created me, the planet Earth, the resting place of all living entities. Yet you are always fully independent, my Lord. Now that you are present before me and ready to kill me with your weapons, let me know where I should go to take shelter, and tell me who can give me protection. Purport. The planet Earth herein exhibits the symptoms of full surrender before the Lord. As stated, no one can protect the person whom Krishna is prepared to kill, and no one can kill the person whom Krishna protects. Because the Lord was prepared to kill the planet Earth, there was no one to give protection to her. We are all receiving protection from the Lord, and it is therefore proper and that every one of us surrender unto him. In Bhagavad Gita 18.66, the Lord instructs, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur sings, My dear Lord, whatever I have, even my mind, the center of all material necessities, namely my home, my body, and whatever I have in connection with this body, I now surrender unto you. You are now completely independent to act however you like. If you like, you can kill me, and if you like, you can save me. In any case, I am your eternal servant, and you have every right to do whatever you like. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Now, Mother Earth, she is further praying. You are the complete conductor of the material creation, and you have created this cosmic manifestation with 3 modes of material nature, and even I am your creation, my dear Lord. You are Swarat, you are fully independent. Now I am present before you. If you want to kill me, kill me. If you want to give me shelter, please give me shelter. I am fully surrendered. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, now planet Earth is exhibiting her natural symptom of full surrender towards the Supreme Lord. Because it is said, Mare Krishna Rakhe Krishna Mare ke. When Krishna wants to protect somebody, who can kill? We have the example of Prahlad Maharaj. And when Krishna wants to kill someone, who can protect? Right? Krishna wanting to kill so many demons, like Shishupal, classic example. Nobody could protect Shishupal. Jarasandha could not protect. And there are many mighty people who wanted to protect Shishupal or Jayadratha. And they were, unable to protect Jayadratha from the wrath of the Supreme Lord. And therefore, Prabhupada says, understanding this, a living entity should always surrender unto the Supreme Lord. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam. Somebody will say, what about my sinful activities? Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Don't worry about the sins. Moksha ishyami. I will liberate you. Ma shuchaha. Do not fear. And therefore, realizing this position of the Supreme Lord, that how he is Sharanam Sharanyam, always giving shelter to the person requiring shelter without worrying about what is the past of the person. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, prays like this: Manasa deha geho jo kichu more, arpilu tu apade nanda kishore. My dear Lord, whatever I have my body, I have my home, I have my everything I offer unto you. What is the meaning of everything I offer unto you? That means Bhagavad Bhakti means we don't have to reject the things, we have to spiritualize the things. It is not that we have to cut off the family tie. No, spiritualize it. Right. It is not that we have to give up money. No, spiritualize it by offering a part of it to the service of the Supreme Lord. Make it spiritual. And further he says, whatever you want to do, my dear Lord, please do with me. And this should be the progressive realization of a devotee. Right? That Marobi, Rakhobi, Jo Ichha Tuvar. My dear Lord, whatever you desire, because your desire is the ultimate good for me, and whatever is your desire is my desire. This is what the prayer of a devotee is. So we will conclude here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhupada ki
Gaur
jai.
Bhaktavrinda ki
Thank you,
jai. Thank you,
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji. Thank
Krishna,
you,
Prabhu.
everyone. Hare
One small
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, just to understand, like, mother, if Mother Earth already knows that he is the supreme personality of Godhead, why didn't she uh, give the seeds in advance? Or other question is like when King Vena was a very bad king, at that time, I don't know if she has like uh, not give any seeds during his time or something. So when Pṛthu Maharaj came, at that time we didn't see that discussion. When King Pṛthu was there, you can only see okay, the thieves are stealing all these things, but we didn't hear anything about Mother Earth protecting or not giving any seeds at that time. But when King Pṛthu took over, she's still kind of holding it.
See, when what it is when the history is happening, it is very difficult to know that history is happening. History is in making. Like, 400 years ago, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was there on the, when he was creating the history. It was very difficult. So many of the Maratha Sardars were against him. Right. Now we know he was such a great personality. 100 years ago, when Srila Prabhupada was on this planet, 50 years ago, when he was preaching around and everything, not many surrendered unto him. Right. So, when the history is in making, it is very difficult to understand that it is history in making. Only in the hindsight, looking back, one can say, oh, such a, it was a history in making. So, when Vena was ruling, the Mother Earth began to withdraw, and she was rightfully so. Just imagine, husband, wife, there is a child, son is there, and the son is, and they are a very rich family, but the son is a rogue and vagabond, right? Will the mother reveal all the jewelry to the son, all the, the Gupta Dhan and all the opulence to the son, or she will withdraw and keep it in the locker? What she will do? What the mother will do?
She'll keep it in love.
This was exactly done by Mother Earth when Vena was the king. But after Vena, what happened is suddenly there is, from the body of the Vena, there is Maharaj Pṛthu coming. So, it is something which is it's very difficult to immediately believe that, till yesterday there was a, the rogue king Vena was ruling, and from today, the son of Vena, who is the goodness personified, who is the incarnation of the Supreme. Now we know because we are reading in Bhagavatam, we are, but it was very difficult for Mother Earth to realize that, he's actually the Supreme Lord who has come here, and here he can appear from anywhere, and he has appeared from the body of the Vena, who is the sin personified. And therefore, it took some time for her to realize that. And but the condition was so scary for the citizens. They were skinny, on the verge of death, starving, and therefore Pṛthu had to take a very tough stand. And this is what the whole thing is happening here, right?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everybody.